If you're anything like me, then love is really important to you. You care a lot about relationships and you care a lot about people. You want to find that person who's right for you. You want to find someone that truly understands you and that you can truly understand them and you can truly love each other for who you both truly are. It will be true love. That's what you want. And look, I know this topic is overdone. I know everybody in the history of humankind has probably talked about finding love or being attractive, being suitable to find a partner. And I think the reason why we talk so much about love and relationships is because that is where we find our truest happiness. That is where our deepest source of fulfillment comes from as a human being. If you're watching this video right now, I'm assuming that you are a human being because I don't know. I don't really know any other beings who are conscious enough to understand what I'm saying. So, because you are a human being, that means whatever I'm saying applies to you because I'm a human being and I'm talking about human beings. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to be attractive, how to attract a relationship, and how to attract that right person for you, how to find the love, how to make yourself suitable. In this video, I will have 3 main points. The first point is, what is attraction? The second point is, what is love? And the third point, and I'd say most importantly, is why do we care? And look, I know, all this can seem very simple and very obvious, and I'm sure when you hear these questions, you tell yourself, oh, I don't need to watch this video. I already know all the answers. I already know what attraction is. I already know what love is. I know why it's important. But guess what? I beg to differ because I have different opinions that might help you and might help you expand your mind. Because there are a few key misconceptions about attraction that I feel like a lot of people in this day and age fall into. And there are also a lot of misconceptions about love. And I would say there are also misconceptions about why any of it matters. So, welcome to How to Be Attractive. Welcome to the beach, where I will be explaining all of the concepts I have outlined in further detail. I wanted to get that cool shot, the one I just did with the little drawing, and then I'm sitting there, and I didn't take into account that the sun is on the other side of me. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, what is attraction? Honestly, it's kind of just written in the name. You're attracted to something, that you are drawn to something. There's an energy that pulls you to it, or you pull the energy towards you. One law of the universe is like attracts like. Things that are similar kind of get pulled towards each other, okay? So what is it about a person that makes them attractive to you? Now, the most obvious thing would be what they physically look like. But I like to go deeper, and I feel like in this society, we focus on the physical a little bit too much. When you hear, oh, he's so attractive, the first thing you think about is he's physically attractive, but the physical is only one of the 3 elements in nature, or I guess aspects of the universe: spiritual, mental, and physical. So if you're only focusing on the physical, then I guess you're only focusing on the physical. For example, say you wanted to get more attractive and all you do is you go to the gym, you get healthy, because all physical attraction is just being healthy. It's very animalistic because we as human beings are animals and we forget that a lot. So when you're attracted to someone, like things like symmetry, clean skin, fitness, being ripped, being a bodybuilder, those are all just signs of a healthy individual. And that is a very animalistic thing, and we are so much more. Yes, we are animals, and that's very important. It's good to be healthy, but there's so much more. Say you do all that, you get physically in your best condition, you're beautiful, you're only going to attract someone who only cares about physical if you only are prioritizing the physical. And yeah, in this society where we are very underdeveloped spiritually, most people care more about the physical. Probably 80 to 90% of people are going to be only focusing on the physical, at least at first. So if you want to attract somebody who is part of that 90%, then focus on the physical. We on this channel, we like to go deeper. We like to make things a little more meaningful, I'd like to say. So the type of person I would like to attract, for example, is someone who would be in that 10%, who doesn't only care about the physical, who cares more maybe about the spiritual, about being emotionally mature, about being interesting, being like a good person. and that would be mental. And being interesting, funny, talkative, those are all mental things, and it's very common that people do care about those too. Here's a very key point that I feel we kind of don't talk about a lot, and it's that even if you were your best version of yourself, you're still not going to attract every single person. You are not meant to be attractive to every single person, because there's a thing called compatibility. The way our brain chemistry is and who we are spiritually on every level is we are not compatible with every person. Certain people are more compatible with each other than others. It's like two puzzle pieces, right? And sometimes your puzzle piece might fit into somebody else's puzzle piece, and sometimes they just don't fit together, and that's okay. But I feel like a lot of people, they get turned down by one person and then they go, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive, something's wrong with me. But in all honesty, maybe you just weren't compatible with that person. So if somebody rejects you, turns you down, isn't interested in you, instead of seeing it as like a bad thing or like a sign of your unworthiness, maybe see it as, okay, wasn't meant to be, not the right person, maybe I move on to the next. Maybe I find the one who is compatible, because at least with me, I feel like I'm only truly compatible with like 10 to 20% of people when it comes to like a romantic thing, right? Like my brain only really fits in with a very small amount of people compared to most. So maybe 9 out of 10 girls will turn me down, but those 9 weren't meant to be with me. It's worth it to get to that final 10%, right? Basically what I'm trying to say is stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to fit this mold that like you're gonna like work with every person, they're all gonna love you. Like, nah. There's certain people you're meant to be with and certain people you're not. And once you realize that, it becomes a lot less taxing on you mentally. And also, here's a major thing. Do not judge your self-worth based on what other people think of you, or whether other people think you're attractive or not, right? Like, if there were no other human beings on earth and you never talk to someone else and you look in a mirror, how you would feel looking into that mirror is the truest form of how you see yourself. And then that's just going to come down to how healthy you are. You're not going to care if your face is super symmetrical. If you don't know anyone else, you will never even know that symmetry is a good thing, right? It's all kind of just a construct. So, if you want to be attractive to the right person, the one you are actually compatible with, the one where the puzzle piece fits together, I know it seems obvious, but you got to be true to your truest self. Because if you aren't being your truest self, then how are you going to attract somebody who is attracted to your truest self? They won't even be able to see who you are because you're putting up this mask, this front. The best way you can find the one who's meant for you is just to be you first. If you're not being you, how are you gonna find him? You'd have to like meet somebody, they like still talk to you even though you're not being yourself, and then they have to like crack through all your layers, finally figure out who you are, and then maybe then they'll see they're not even compatible with you. But if you're just being yourself to begin with, then right off the bat they would already know. It'd be so much faster. So many people put up this front, this mask, they hide who they are because they're afraid that if they show their real selves, then they won't be attractive. But it's just the opposite. If you are your real self, then you will be attractive to the right person. Now I want to talk about love. What is love? Now that's a good question. So I will do my best to define my personal definition of what love is. To me, love is all that is good. Love is everything. Love is what makes everything happen in the background, but I feel like there are so many different kinds of love. It comes in a spectrum. There's like shades of it, and they should all have their own name, but they don't. In our language, we only use one word for love. Love. That is so limiting. I heard once that like ancient Greece or whatever, they used like 10 different words for love. There's like family love, romantic love, animal love, I don't know, tree love. Like there's probably all kinds of different loves, but we only use one. So it's so limiting. So I guess in this video we're talking about romantic love. I feel like when you romantically love something, you love it so much that you just want to be with it all the time, and you want to like become one with it. You want to integrate your souls together into one thing. I feel like that's kind of just sex, but I feel like sex doesn't have to be physical sex. Sex could be like a man and a woman talking to each other, and like just their energies working together are like, they're like becoming one. There's like a union of energy, and that's kind of just like spiritual sex. I think sex is a beautiful thing, but the problem is in our society, we over sexualize everything, and then we always make it about the physical kind of sex. We always make it physical. We always focus on the grossest level, and I say gross as in like dense, not like disgusting type of gross. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I feel like love is just when you find that puzzle piece that just fits so perfectly with you, and it's just so satisfying to your soul, and that's just it's just right, and you feel so seen and they feel so seen, because it's like when you stare into each other's eyes and you see their souls, you like see the depth of all that they are, and you still love them at their deepest. That is true love right there. When you just love someone's truest self and you just want to nurture it, take care of it, and show it off to the world. And it's a beautiful thing, it truly is, and that's why we care so much about it. That's why I'm making this video about it right now. But here's the thing, yeah, it's a good thing, but it's gonna come when it's meant to, man. I feel like everybody has their true love at some point. Maybe it never happens in one lifetime, but maybe in the next lifetime they find that soulmate, and it happens because it's just like, it feels like destiny. When you find that true love, it feels like you were meant to find that person. You were meant to love them, and you can't rush things. You can't rush fate, right? It's gonna happen when it's meant to. And oftentimes I feel like when you're looking for something and you're straining your eyes and you're trying so hard to see it, that's when you can't see it, because it's so close that you can't even see it. Like maybe your true love is right down the block, but you're looking so hard, you're like going on Tinder and like going all crazy, talking to all these people. All you had to do was just go to the supermarket and get bread, and you would have met the person. But you're straining, you're trying to find it, you gotta let go, you gotta relax. Just flow, man, it's okay. You gotta trust the process. You gotta trust it's gonna happen when it's meant to. And not to mention, I truly believe that you only can find that true love when you truly love yourself. Or there might be exceptions, like maybe that true love could help you find the love for yourself, but I feel like they're always connected. You have to have that self-love as part of it. And personally, I like to find it first. Well, actually, I had a true love recently with another person, and that helped me find my true love for myself. I'm no longer with them, but I still have myself now, and I can still love myself and love the world. I don't really need another person to help me love myself and love the world. And once you can find that within yourself. That is so powerful. And once you find it, you don't even need to look anymore, because you already have it. It's within you. You already had it the whole time. Everyone does. You just gotta find it. You gotta love yourself. And it's easier said than done, but you can do it. You just gotta see in yourself that, I have another video about this. Just go on my channel. It's called Self-Love. So if you're interested in going more into that, there's a video. I don't want to digress too much. But anyway, on to the third point. Really difficult tree to climb up. I didn't really think about it when I set the camera up. I was planning on getting the shot up there, but it's so difficult to climb this tree. But I'm gonna do it anyway. So, the final point is, why do we care? Why, as a human species, do we obsess so much over love and relationships and family? And I feel like there's multiple levels to this question and multiple answers. So I'll just go over the ones that I'm currently thinking of. I think it might be befitting to start off with the most obvious and physical and gross level, because I'm a human, so why not just follow the current trend, I'd say. Think about it this way. Back in our caveman days, if you didn't find that love, if you didn't find that soulmate feeling, that connection, it might have meant that you didn't ever have a family. You didn't ever have kids. Your DNA never got passed on. And to be honest, I don't even know why we care so much about that, but I guess from like a mass point of view, it's important so that we can like spread and grow as a species. But there's a very animal instinct within us that cares very much about that. And that's also why we care so much about social norms and fitting in, because back in the day when we were cavemen, if you didn't fit in with the tribe, you get kicked out of the tribe, you're dead. So fitting in with the tribe and being likable meant life or death, and that kind of got programmed into our brains, and now it's still there, even though that's not really the case anymore. Like, honestly, right now, nobody in the world could like me, and I can still live and like be a human being and not die. The second aspect of why we care, I covered the physical, now I'll go into the mental, because there's the physical, mental, and spiritual. The mental reason is I feel like we assign our self-worth to the opinions of others. So like, for example, when I was talking about love and I said, like, they see you at your truest form, they see your truest self, and they still love you. And that is the most validating feeling. It honestly is. Like, when someone loves your true self that deeply, it makes you really feel like you're worthy. It makes you feel like you're valuable. And I think that's kind of it's a good thing, but I feel like we should also be able to see that we are valuable and worthy on our own. It's the self-love. It always goes back to that. But so there's the mental, is it makes us feel valuable and worthy. And then the physical is it helps us fit in the tribe. Now the last one is spiritual. And the reason love is so important spiritually is because love is like the undercurrent energy of everything that happens in the universe. It makes everything happen. I feel like when I get into deep states of meditation and I feel so tapped in with the universe and the higher powers, it's a very consistent theme that I feel love, that I feel care, positive. It's like it's a good energy, and I can't put the spiritual energy love into words. I can't intellectualize it in a way that transmits its true nature. It exists, and I think that's another reason why we care so much about it, because on some subconscious level we are aware of that deep universal love that exists, and true romantic love can reflect that universal love. In fact, it's almost the same thing, it feels like, except the romantic love is often more temporary, more superficial and surface level, where that universal love, it is infinite. It is within every molecule, atom, and movement in known existence, right? As much as we can know, as the feeble mortals we are. So yeah, that's all my opinions on love. Love yourself first. Be your truest self. Focus on what makes you happy. Trust the process and trust that your love will come when it's meant to. There's no rush whatsoever. And best of luck to you, fellow human. See ya.